They've just always had whatever's available, and they can get to it just about anywhere. And
Yeah.
so, if they can somehow recreate or at least follow that model where
Yeah.
you have the Halo multiplayer platform that is just the long-term support probably every few years, get some kind of graphical overhaul or some kind of revamp or something to keep up with the new hardware, but just have it be consistent instead of here's a brand new multiplayer, but we've released the same maps the last 5 games, that we put out. It's just make it at that point, just make it one release and just keep maintaining it. I think that would work well. That's just my thoughts, though.
Scrag, you got any additional ones?
Just bring everything to PC. Problem solved.
It's already there.
Consoles.
Well,
it's cool.
Do you see, because last week we talked about the Helldivers 2 coming to Xbox, the first officially published by PlayStation on Xbox game, and I couldn't be more excited. I think that's a great addition to that. I do wonder, like, because there was the conversation about Game Pass, and I think that's kind of what I'd like to kind of pick Boom's mind on, especially because the narration this last week was that it isn't sustainable in terms of pricing and things like that. But people were setting the expectation, no, buy this game. If you want PlayStation games on Xbox, you better show up and buy Helldivers, because they're going to be watching those numbers very closely. But that being said, is like I was the only curiosity, the only question I have is like, is that going to be Xbox Play Anywhere? Because Xbox Play Anywhere, that tag that's my default place I want to buy a game. Like, no shade to Steam. I like my Steam library just fine. But Xbox Play Anywhere is like, oh, I bought Final Fantasy 16. I didn't buy it on Steam. I bought it on Play Anywhere. It just makes it easy. It takes away a barrier for, worrying about my save files. It just handles it for me. And so, like, Boom, I'd like to kind of get your thoughts, especially as it relates to Game Pass, Helldivers 2, and Play Anywhere for Xbox's kind of roadmap going forward. Is this PlayStation signaling we're going to see more of their games? And then obviously the debate around single player games is really interesting. What's your take?
I mean, listen, I have been at the forefront of this. First of all, the minute that Helldivers became, and this is the other thing, not that I need any patting on the ass, right? I don't need that. But I talked about this because I got this leaked months ago, and I was railroaded by the PlayStation community.
Oh yeah,
which is fine. It's okay. I'm a big man. Some rubbing, it never bothers me, and it only made sense. And if you like reading the room, which is I do, any room I walk into, I'm scanning, I'm reading. I want to know everything in this room because it's my safety, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you just read the room, Arrowhead put out a tweet from the head of the studio, and I'm paraphrasing because I don't have it in front of me. When you 100% fund your own game, you 100% make the decisions. And that was them stepping away from PlayStation and the deal that they made with them. Because I'm sure that they knew that they wanted this on Xbox for more players. Now, granted, it sold 14 million copies, which is phenomenal, right? The rumor, and I don't have this on good authority, folks, I tried to find the exact number, but only about 2 million PlayStation 5 players bought this game. That's not enough, right? Which is why Arrowhead's next game is going to be a multi-plat, and they're funding it themselves. So when this was announced, it was a big deal because this was PlayStation Studios' first game. Now, granted, I know about MLB. I know about Kojima's game and Death Stranding. Death Stranding was published by 505.
MLB, just so you know, Scrag, was the Major League Baseball said that if they want to keep the license, they have to bring the game. And so MLB themselves is basically acting as the publisher. And so that was a little bit of what I saw from, the PlayStation kind of ecosystem was like, but this isn't really PlayStation. Yes, the studio developed it, but it isn't PlayStation. This is, Helldivers 2 is actual PlayStation publishing.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, of course, getting back to this, you mentioned about what does PlayStation do from here? Which way do they move?
Right.
Well, I've been saying this for years, and again, this is one of those lambasting moments that I got on the socials, which is again fine. Spider-Man 2018 makes the most sense, and here's why. It is literally a 30 million selling game on PlayStation 4 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
It is sold relatively well on PC, but would make and sell gangbuster numbers on Xbox. And the game, obviously, at this point, it came out in 2019. We're in 2025. The game is 7 years old.
Mm-hmm.
It's not making a dime for Sony. Last year, if you remember, and this came the way of the leaks from Insomniac that you talked about earlier, there was an increase from 25% per game sold that Sony had to pay Marvel or Disney has now been increased to 35%.
Right.
So, of course, now for every game that they put out that's Marvel related, they have quite a few. Venom, we got the leak that Venom is next year. Wolverine is 27. I would imagine that Spider-Man 3 is 28, right? They have to pay that off. What better way to have money to fund these games? And again, you're talking about funding games. Spider-Man 2, which sold less than Helldivers 2, which, by the way, cost $315 million. Spider-Man 3 is, based on the leaks, is estimated to cost nearly $400 million to produce that game, which is insane, right?
At that point, though, do you see them just, at least if nothing else, also releasing day and date on PC? Like, when is day and date? Because
they
that to
absolutely have to. Yeah.
Right.
That's the next look. The Xbox Play. I don't know whenever that's going to happen. No one knows for sure. But this is the door. So the door was going to be closed, and someone put their foot in the door. And now it's been ajarred, where Helldivers, PlayStation Studios published, developed by Nixxes, who of course is a studio that they own for ports. Spider-Man makes too much sense. Spider-Man was already ported to PC, and I believe that was Nixxes that did that, if I'm not mistaken. They could do it again. I think that they're working on it right now. That's just my take. It's shot in the dark.
It would make sense, though. It would be the easiest thing for them to bring over.
Sure.
And
money.
To say that wouldn't sell on Xbox would be really dumb, because it's there's a whole group of people who just didn't play Spider-Man, and there's already 3 games there in the backlog. The ports would be low cost, low effort.
Yes.
Well, also too, are there even enough PlayStation 5s to sell 400 million worth of copies?
They
thing.
shipped 77 million of them. I don't know if that's considered enough.
If you estimate 10% of PlayStation 5 owners are interested in Spider-Man, that's about 7.7 million times $60 minus licensing fees. Oh, sorry, $80. I forgot. We have to update that math.
Thanks, Nintendo.